Gardner's History, Gardner's World Deep Dives podcast, where we uncover the hidden forces that shape the world. Today we're exploring one of the most ambitious engineering marvels in history, the Grand Canal of China. Stretching over 1,000 miles, this ancient waterway connected the north and south of China, shaping its economy, politics, and culture for centuries. But how did it come to be, and why was it so vital to China's rise? Let's dive in. The story of the Grand Canal dates back over 2,500 years, but it was during the Sui Dynasty, 581 to 618 CE, that it became the massive interconnected system we recognize today. The problem China faced was simple. The political and military power was in the north, centered around the capital cities, but the economic and agricultural wealth was in the south, particularly the Yangtze River region. The solution? A canal system that would bridge this divide, ensuring the north had a steady supply of food and goods. Emperor Yang of the Sui Dynasty embarked on an ambitious project in the early 7th century, mobilizing millions of laborers to construct what would become the longest artificial river in the world. The results were stunning, a vast network of waterways connecting Beijing to Hangzhou, linking major rivers like the Yellow and Yangtze. Once complete, the Grand Canal transformed China's economy. Suddenly, rice, silk, and luxury goods could flow smoothly from the fertile south to the populous north. Farmers benefited from greater demand, merchants expanded their trade networks, and cities along the canal like Luoyang and Kaifeng became bustling centers of commerce. But the canal wasn't just about trade. It was a powerful political tool. Controlling the canal meant controlling the country's food supply. Dynasties that maintained it, like the Tang, Song, and Ming, prospered. Those that neglected it, they suffered. One of the most remarkable examples of its impact was during the Yuan Dynasty under Kublai Khan. The Mongols relied on the Grand Canal to transport their grain to their northern capital, Beijing. Without it, feeding their vast empire would have been nearly impossible. With trade booming, cities along the Grand Canal became cultural melting pots. Merchants, scholars, and artisans from all over China and beyond gathered in those urban hubs, exchanging ideas, traditions, and innovations. Take Hangzhou, for example. Marco Polo visited this Grand Canal city in the 13th century and described it as the finest and most splendid city in the world. Why? Because the canal made it a center of wealth, attracting artists, poets, and inventors. Beyond trade and culture, the canal also changed everyday life. It provided employment for millions, from boatmen to dock workers to bureaucrats overseeing waterway maintenance. It even influenced cuisine as northern China gained access to southern rice, forever shaping Chinese food culture. But such an enormous project didn't come without challenges. The construction of the Grand Canal under the Sui Dynasty was grueling. Harsh working conditions and forced labor led to massive unrest, eventually contributing to the downfall of the Sui. Later dynasties faced the ongoing challenge of maintenance. Flooding, silt buildup, and war often disrupted the canal's flow. By the late 19th century, with the rise of the railroad and modern transportation, the Grand Canal's importance began to fade. However, its legacy endured. Fast forward to today, and the Grand Canal is still a vital part of China. The Chinese government has invested in restoring sections of it, recognizing its historical and economic significance. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, attracting historians and tourists alike. But more important than that, its legacy continues in the way China approaches infrastructure. Large-scale projects like the Three Gorge Dam and high-speed rail networks can trace their ambition back to the Grand Canal. It's a reminder that great civilizations are built not just by conquest, but by connection. So what's the takeaway from the Grand Canal? It wasn't just a waterway. It was a force that shaped China's economy, politics, and culture for over 1,000 years. It fueled trade, enabled dynasties to rise and fall, and left a lasting impact that still echoes today. Thanks for joining me on this journey through history. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe and share. And as always, keep exploring the past. It's the key to understanding our present.